Hey there, foodies! If you're ready to embark on a culinary adventure through the Sunshine State, you're in luck. In this video, we're serving up the top 10 best food tours in Florida, guaranteed to tantalize your taste buds and satisfy your cravings. From the vibrant flavors of Miami's Little Havana to the fresh seafood delights of Key West, we'll guide you through the most mouth-watering foodie experiences across the state. Whether you're a fan of Cuban cuisine, Southern comfort food, or international flavors, there's something for everyone on these delectable food tours. So loosen your belt, sharpen your appetite, and get ready to feast your way through Florida as we explore the top 10 food tours that will leave you craving more. Let's dig in. We've all seen the headlines. Florida man steals ribs and puts them down his pants. Florida man eats pancakes in a crosswalk. Florida man breaks into a house and makes a snack. When the typical Florida man isn't getting arrested because of food, he's probably eating pretty well. Thanks to its many fisheries, Florida has iconic seafood dishes like Minorcan clam chowder and fried grouper sandwiches that fortunately anyone can enjoy. The state's bounty of subtropical produce has influenced dishes like key lime and sour orange pie. Florida is also located at a cultural crossroads, and this can be seen in dishes like the Cuban Sandwich and Bahamian conch fritters. Clearly, the food in Florida is no joke. 1. Key lime pie. Key lime pie is probably the most iconic food from Florida. Before the days of refrigeration, this pie was typically made using only fresh ingredients. At some point, people used sweetened condensed milk from a can as a workaround. However, this approach to making key lime pie was likely made popular thanks to a marketing push from a company that made condensed milk. Today, key lime pie is pretty easy to make. If you're not from Florida and don't have access to key limes, you might be tempted to use regular limes, which are technically known as Persian limes. However, there is a big difference between key limes and Persian limes. Turning yellow when they become ripe, key limes are more aromatic and tartar, making for a more vibrant option for a citrus fruit pie. Pro tip: adding a bit of white chocolate to the filling will significantly upgrade your key lime pie. 2. Cuban Sandwich. When it comes to food, authenticity is a tricky subject. However, most of us can agree on certain things that make a dish authentic. Just as a New Orleans po' boy must be made with French bread, a Cuban sandwich must be made with a bread called Pan Cubano. This sub-style sandwich roll is made with lard, which makes the bread crisp on the outside and soft on the inside. If you don't live near a Latin bakery, you can replicate the sandwich known as a Cubano by using another slightly sweet sub-style roll. Essential ingredients for the sandwich include roasted pork, ham, Swiss cheese, sour pickles, and mustard. After these ingredients are added to a buttered sub-style roll, the Cubano is toasted in a sandwich press and cut diagonally through the middle. 3. Stone crab claws. Stone crabs are native to the waters off the Florida coast and are considered a seasonal delicacy. Unlike blue crabs and Dungeness crabs, only the claws of stone crabs are eaten. When stone crabs are caught, crabbers will remove one or both claws, as long as the claws are regulation size. Then throw the animals back into the water. The season for harvesting these claws is regulated, and the rules around stone crabbing can be restrictive. This unique harvesting practice helps with sustainability. However, removing one or both of a stone crab's claws will affect its odds of survival after being tossed back into the sea. The claws regenerate, and many stone crabs are able to survive without them, although it's less common than you might think. If one claw is removed, the crab has a 40% chance of dying as a result, according to the Florida Sea Grant, and if both claws are removed, the mortality rate climbs to 60%. By comparison, stone crabs that are caught and thrown back with both claws have a 13% mortality rate. That being said, stone crab claws probably aren't going anywhere anytime soon. 4. Apalachicola Oysters. A lot of jokes are made at the expense of Florida. It's easy to forget that the state has countless pockets of paradise amidst all the shenanigans and untamed swampland. Located atop rolling dunes along the Gulf Coast, the Shrimp Shack and Seaside, Florida is unquestionably one of those pockets and one of the best classic seafood shacks in the country. It's also renowned for serving Florida's luxurious Apalachicola oysters. Coming from the Apalachicola wildlife region, where oysters are still harvested by hand, Apalachicola oysters are prized for marrying an oceanic brininess to a rich, creamy decadence. Sadly, you will have to wait until at least 2026 to eat an Apalachicola oyster. In 2020, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission placed a moratorium on oyster harvesting in Apalachicola Bay through 2025 due to overharvesting and a decreasing water flow to the bay. 5. Pink shrimp. There are many shrimp varieties around the world, but pink shrimp that live off the Gulf Coast of Florida are particularly prized for their sweet meat. Referred to as pink gold since commercial fishing began in the 1950s, pink shrimp are so distinctive in their color that people have mistaken raw shrimp for cooked shrimp. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, pink shrimp are a sustainable seafood that's available year-round. 6. Fried grouper sandwich. Grouper is an absolutely delicious tropical fish that works well in a variety of preparations. It is easily poached, broiled, pan-fried, grilled, or baked. In Florida, it's commonly deep-fried and placed on a bun with lettuce, tomato, and tartar sauce. Grouper is a meaty and delicious fish that commands a relatively high price point. Because of this, it's a popular target for fish fraud. Unscrupulous people in the supply chain will often try to pass off cheaper, leaner fish like Asian catfish as grouper. Even though this practice is against the law, it's fairly common. Knowing the fish is the best way to protect yourself against grouper fraud. 7. Sour orange pie. It might be overshadowed by its key lime cousin, but sour orange pie is a Florida classic that shows off the state's range of delicious citrus fruit. Just as the key lime pie is made with pungent and quite sour limes, this pie is a sour dessert made with varieties of oranges that aren't well suited to being eaten on their own. You can find sour orange pies made with two different types of sour oranges, Seville and Calamandan. Seville oranges were brought to Florida by Spanish settlers, while Calamandan oranges are native to Southeast Asia. In fact, Calamandan oranges are an iconic ingredient in the cuisines of the Philippines, where the fruit is called calamansi. 8. Tarpon Springs Greek salad. When it comes to local food legend, the simplest of things become both iconic and the subject of debate. The Tarpon Springs Greek salad is famous for having a scoop of potato salad underneath or atop Greek salad ingredients like olives, pepperoncini, tomatoes, lettuce, and feta cheese. Adding a scoop of potato salad might seem like a minor thing that somehow became popular, but its origin story is hotly debated. 9. Minorcan clam chowder. Minorcan clam chowder is an iconic Florida dish coming from the former Spanish colony of St. Augustine. This tomato-based chowder is made with seafood stock, vegetables, and clams. But the most essential ingredient is the spicy datil pepper, which was brought to Northeast Florida hundreds of years ago. This iconic chowder, with Mediterranean influence, was developed by settlers from the Spanish island of Minorca, who worked on Florida's indigo plantations. 10. Panc Manuta. Fish sandwiches get short shrift. McDonald's create its famous Filet-O-Fish sandwich out of desperation, as a way to bring in Catholics abstaining from meat during Lent. However, Floridians love a good fish sandwich, and the state's most iconic is the Panc Manuta. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.